I hope you're having a terrific day, and please subscribe to my channel by clicking the icon in the lower right hand corner. Thanks a lot for watching.
Oh, hi there folks. This is another one of my bromeliad videos. This time we're going to concentrate on Tillandsias, or air plants. Now, first of all, not all Tillandsias are air plants. Some are terrestrial, i.e. they go in the ground, or you can grow them in pots. I grow them in pots, but with some success. Anyway, that's by the by. So, well, here are some of my Tilandsias in the shade house. I don't know any of the species names. Got quite a few varieties here. There's probably about 50 different species or varieties, subspecies or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite happy. It's quite a good selection, especially for Thailand. It's very difficult to get these plants. Or it used to be. It's not so much now, but it's still quite hard. And this beauty is flowering for the first time. Yes, splendid plants.
Coming up now is the first photo gallery in this video. There's a second one to follow towards the end. I hope you find it enjoyable. What I'll do, I'll run through one or two things really while you're watching this. Firstly, feeding. Now, I've mentioned this earlier on or later on in this video. You don't need to feed Tilandsias. They get all the nutrition they want through the air and through rainwater, etc. Now, when watering Tilandsias, if you can use rainwater, do so. But if you have to use tap water, it's best to let it stand for a day or so so that the chlorine dissipates. Or you can spray the hose pipe into the water, and that helps to dissipate the chlorine as well. Most of these plants are growing in my shade houses, or one or two outside in strong sunlight on my bromeliad tree, which is just an old tree stump. I've concreted into a pot and put various bromeliads on. It works very well. I'd just like to point out that I don't do any misting at all.
Before I get into it too much, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to put a Tillandsia on a raft, or the way I do it, or usually do it. So if you sort of come here, right, well, here's the Tillandsia we're going to put on a raft. I've just taken it off the bromeliad tree and cleaned off all the dead leaves from the bottom. As you can see, the crown looks very healthy, and I can't understand why it's not producing offsets, or pups as they're called in the bromeliad world. God knows why. Anyway, I'll show you here now a couple of rafts. This one is I bought locally, 20 baht, and this one, which is a bit bigger, I made from an old piece of wood in the garden. I think they're both mahogany. They look like mahogany to me. Now, this one is, I think, too small. So I sort of think we'll go for the large one. I should put it on there, like so, I think. That looks pretty good to me. And as that grows up, and as it all expands, which it will do, down the bottom I'm going to put some small Tilandsias, you know, a couple of little ones around the bottom there, just to cover that bottom piece. That should look good. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. I use coconut, nails, that's it. Yeah, I hope you can see what I'm doing okay. What I use is a piece of coconut husk. This is a bit large, I should cut that in half now. There we are. There we are, a couple of nails. And that, hope you can see this, And that is it. Yeah, well good. I might possibly put a little piece of twine around here till it stabilises, but for the moment I shan't, that's fine. Perhaps I'll put another piece of coconut across there as a cross bracing. Well, here we are, here's our plant. Up in situ. I think looking quite happy there, so that's probably where it will stay. It'll be its new home. Yes, very pleased with that. Oh, here we are again now. Now this little section is on potting compost. It depends whether you're going to put your Tillandsias in a hanging basket like I do with the terrestrial ones, or some of the larger species of epiphytes I put in pots as well. I'll just show you the type of pot I use. Usually undersized as well as the pots. That typically is about 6 inches maximum diameter, 150mm on hanging wires. I mean, you can adjust the length to what you want, but these are about 2 foot, 600mm or so, something like that. There we are. Now just zoom in there so you can see that. There we are. Now on the left hand side of your screen there's chopped up coconut, diced coconut husk. In the centre is tufa, which I get from the Aquarius because they use that for filters in the fish tanks. And to the right is charcoal. Now if you're going to use charcoal, please don't use one with accelerant in, otherwise you're going to have problems. Just ordinary charcoal. Barbecue charcoal's fine as long as there's no accelerant, as I said. And that filled up the coconut alone will do the terrestrial Tilandsias fine. That's absolutely no problem at all. Perhaps chuck in a little bit of charcoal as well. And now for the epiphytic Tilandsias, I should use a mixture of the 3 items I've got here: the charcoal, the tufa and the coconut. I don't do it in any particular amounts, I just bung it in and mix it up, and it always works. It always works. The only thing is you don't want too much coconut, because in time that rots down and it could rot out the base of your Tillandsia, so be careful with that one. And when you've actually potted up the Tillandsia, around the top sprinkle some of the stone here, the tufa stone, or you can use any stone really. It doesn't have to be tufa, but I prefer to use that because it does retain moisture. Now caring for Tillandsias here in Thailand is a little bit different to maybe in their natural environment than Central America, or in the Americas generally. Now here in Chonburi we have a very distinctive dry season and a distinctive rainy season. Now the dry season is cool, the rainy season is sort of hot and humid. It's been a bit different this year because of El Nino, and it's really messed things up. We've had the first 2 months of the rainy season have been very dry. In fact, the rains have only just come now. So that meant having to water the well, all the plants in the shade house on a regular basis, preferably in the evening. I'm told that Tillandsias absorb the moisture better overnight than they do during the daytime, so that's something to consider. Feeding, I never feed them. I suppose you could spray them, but I don't know of anybody that does, and I don't see the point really. As with all my bromeliads now, I don't use anything, any sort of form of fertiliser at all. I did for a few acmeas and some neorigelias, but they just got a bit leggy and they got too big, you know. If you just let them do their own natural thing, they're fine. Some of the species can tolerate direct sun for most of the day, but I think here the sun is too intense, you know. It can get 37, 38 in the shade. And if they're out in the sun, it could do some real damage. And I'm sure in a natural environment they would get some sort of shelter or a breeze or a bit of rain in that sort of temperature, and less direct sun. So I tend to keep them, apart from a few on the bromeliad tree here, I tend to keep them in the shade house where they get plenty of light, sometimes a bit of direct sunshine, sometimes they go into deep shade, and it works fine. There's no need to mist, I don't think, if you water regularly in the evenings. And that's it really. I mean, for here in Thailand, they really are simple. I've tried sticking the air plants down the epiphytic Tilandsias with silicone and various other things. I haven't really had a great deal of success. I know people do it, and maybe it works fine for them. But I like them. I like to tie them or pin them, and then once they've become established, then well, the coconut rots off. The nails go rusty and you can't see them, so that's fine. And the thread I use rots out after a year, so it's fine. You know, you just do it and get on with it. And that's it really. I can't think of anything else to say about Tillandsias. They are so easy to grow.
Well, here's our second photo gallery. Talk about propagation. Now, here in Thailand, these plants self-seed regularly and readily, but I haven't had any luck bringing them on to mature plants. So I go the normal route by taking offsets when there's 3 or 4 offsets or pups. And usually I'll put them on a raft with similar plants, or to fill in gaps on a raft on larger plants, etc. Occasionally I might put them on top of a pot that one of the other Tillandsias are already potted up in. Just put them there as a temporary measure and sort of wait and figure out where to put them. Oft times they take, so you know, that's an added bonus. It's all jolly good fun, you know.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not very brief, it may not be very informative, but they're not. I think with a lot of these plants, especially bromeliads, people tend to get over fussy with them. Just let them get on with it. You know, they're easy to grow, especially Tillandsias. And of course, they are the best, aren't they? The air plants, they're fantastic. I mean, I love them. I think they're fantastic. Those, along with acmeas, I'm very fond of, and the Origelias, of course, for the rosettes. Anyway, that's all for now, folks. If you wish to view any of my other videos, please go to my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to get the selection from there. I have done them on the Origelias, Cryptanthus, which is another one I like, and acmeas. I haven't bothered with the others because they're not of interest to me, so there we are. Anyway, until next time, goodbye.
That's it, folks. Perhaps you'd be good enough to subscribe if this video was at all useful to you. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.